This is Aleez Glory, as usual. Yes, this is July already. Oh my gosh, it'll soon be August. I know, I say this over and over in real life and here too. Where does the time go? Anyway, Aleez Glory, my partner Sebastian Firethrone, on the Second Life grid. And this is kind of a news update monthly chit chat that goes on about the Glory Bright Sim, so look us up in World on the Second Life. In the meantime, while you're doing that, if you're not familiar with us and you're looking it up, if you are familiar with us, welcome back. Like, subscribe so you don't miss a thing. And yeah, I don't inundate you guys with a bunch of videos. It's like once a month, so hey, spare me a few minutes and I will strive to make it worth your while so you'll know what's going on the sim. Lots have been happening. July typically is not a great month for me and my family in real life. I don't know. It just seems like everything, if all the year's stuff is, if the shit's going to hit the fan, so to speak, it's going to be in June and July. Usually July for me. So I don't know if it's the cosmic stars or what the heck's going on. Some of my exes might say, hey, that's karma. I'm just joking. And I don't wish my exes any harm. They sometimes think, oh, why do you still contact me? All this old stuff you want me? No. Ask Zeb. He kind of gets me. If anybody does, and I'm not sure I do sometimes, but here we go. All right, enough of that silliness. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying the dog days of summer. They'll be over with and fall is coming. In the meantime, what about the sim? All right, let me change my view here. As you know, this is a cafe where we do our small club venue thingies. If you're a DJ, first of all, you must be a resident to have a job here. If you're a resident, you want to use this, you can, and I'll be happy to promote your efforts in group if you are a resident on the sim. Please vote every day. I'll slap that vote box now. Over here, a popular space is the coffee contest. I have it currently turned off. And yes, even anybody and everybody can right-click on this board, up here, the green board, and pay to add to the pot. Pays out on the 15th and the 1st of every month, as long as there are 5 or more people showing up on that board as players. The top 4 get paid. Over here, let me point out, I've done this before, but here goes. On this board, it gives the calendar of what's going on the sim. Sometimes I post real life things on there, and yeah, quite often actually, because I go and I look at this every day, so it's my calendar kind of in real life and in SL. If you don't want to take up your groups, you can always hit the subscribe board right in front of me, the blue board. It won't take up your group space. That's currently not much of an issue for a lot of people because they have added to the group space depending on your situation, but you get less messages that way for one thing. There are advantages to being a group. One of the advantages is you can res on the sim. Just pick up your things after, or you risk being banned if you leave your, debris around after you use it, like if it's a boat or a motorcycle or, I don't know, a prim kid, whatever it is, just pick it up after. If you're a resident, that is great too. You can do that. However, please keep permanent prim that you're going to have like when you log off or when you go visiting other sims. Have it stationed in your rental itself rather than on the sim. Don't go off and leave your stuff on the sim. in the public areas. What are the public areas, you ask? If you look at the top of your screen, if you've got Firestorm, you usually see the sim name, location, coordinates, whether or not it's moderate, adult, general, we're moderate. And you'll see Fireside land if it is in the public area. If you see like Home 105 or whatever the case may be, you're on a residential parcel. That's one way of telling. Like these brick roads that go around, you're on the public area. So yeah. And we do have a chat extender. So if you're in this public area and you want to put something in local chat, type it in. It's going to go throughout the whole public area. If you're on a parcel, let me demonstrate. Like, see these green lines right here? That denotes that house's parcel. You can't zoom in on anybody in those parcels, and they can't zoom out at anybody. They can select their own music, their own security, that kind of thing. But you have to rent them. How do you rent them, you may ask? Let me go over here. I've reduced prices a little bit, mainly because the sim pricing maintenance fee to Linden Labs has gone down just a wee bit. So I'm passing along that savings. Join group joiners to my right. Teleport pads to my right on the ground there to get around. However, I was going to point out the property. See that sign down there? To my left. Aleez Glory's property listings. You would click that. Accept. And let me move this over. You will get a complete listing. You get the home name. You're going to get how much it is a week, Linden, how many prims, and a little bit about it. Get a landmark, TP over there, and check it out. So that note card will give you a great way to get around to the places. Let me just go to one of them, for example. Go to 103, teleport over. Okay, that gets me right in front of the place. And if I go up there, there's a green box near the front of it someplace. In this case, you'll see it, and it's available for rent. If the box is green, if it's black, it's already rented. And this one's 500 prim at $4.95 a week. Your address is there, whole space, and it's on its own parcel. Let me see if I can get that to show up. There. The yellow line goes around it. That's what you're getting. The hedges, corner hedges, denote that this is your yard if you rent this. You can select your own security, music, whatever you want. Nobody's going to zoom in on you, so it is private. Some people say, oh, it's part of a neighborhood. Look at the people. They're not going to see you. Aesthetically, yeah, I like to see the neighborhood houses to know it's not, like stationed on a whole thing. One thing I will say, check out the rentals, because the rentals pay the bills, so to speak. They defray my costs in Second Life to keep this going. But it's a lot of effort putting this together, quite frankly. And there are pros and cons of that. But it is less laggy than the mainland, more secure. It's an island in and of itself. Let me bring up the world map and show you. World map. Okay, drag it over here. It's going to take a while. See this right here? That's the sim, and it's not part of the mainland. So, what that means is you're going to have less lag and more prim opportunities because the whole place will hold 30,000 prim. Ta-da! So, if you're living on the mainland or in a rented home and you're having resin issues, think about joining us. Hey, won't have it. You don't need any sort of premium membership. It's week to week. Okay, I guess that's about it for me. It will let you in on a little thing, upcoming thing. I need these places rented. So if you grab that note card, a listing of our rentals, pass it on to your friends, please, because I will either give up the Sims at the end of this year because of costs if they're not, not producing any rentals. Nobody's staying here. It's just costly if there's nobody here, if you know what I mean. And there's a lot of Sims in SL. A lot of empty Sims with nothing going on. I don't know. I think it's just exhausting that people get Sims, and it's sad that nobody visits them. Okay. Having said that, what I will probably do if the rental thing tenants don't increase, towards the end of the year, I may think about dividing the sim up into quarters and trying to sell the quarters, and I will live on one quarter. That will allow me to keep the sim if anybody's interested in buying a quarter of a sim. If that doesn't work, what I'll do is just give up the sim, get me a little place, and call it good. Because I do have real life, and I'm an individual, not a rich lady by any stretch of the imagination. So I'm just putting that out there. If you are a tenant and that happens, I will definitely let you know way ahead of time. So, there we go. I hope this has provided some information for you. I'm on in the mornings and in the evenings of SL. So hit me up, IM me, if you need to. I hope you have a wonderful summer. And August is coming before we know it. All right. Have a good one. I'm out of here.